My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full fight cards every single week. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And this is brought to you by Earn You. Earn You is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at earnu.com. And ODDSJAM. ODDSJAM has the fastest real-time data integrations to spot discrepancies between different sportsbooks and helping users place risk-free bets. Check them out at oddsjam.com. Then we have the return of Pat Sabatini. We have Pat Sabatini taking on TJ Laramie. Pat Sabatini, 16-3 overall, 5-0 in his last five. TJ Laramie, 12-4 overall, 4-1 in his last five, and he's coming back after a year layoff. And we love Pat Sabatini here. We've picked him to win in every single one of the fights that we've broken down, and so far, that has been working for us. Jacob had him as a lock of the week, which also hit. He's a very good wrestler with solid pressure when he's on top. His grappling is incredible, and he's always live for a submission. In his fight against Jamal Emmers, he was dropped hard, and he somehow kept the lights on, and he pulled off an awesome submission. And it's easy to look at that fight and say that his striking isn't good, but it actually is pretty good. He moves really well. He controls range with his in and out bouncing. His last fight out was a much heavier grappling-based fight where he had 5 takedowns and 11 minutes of control time against Tucker Lutz, who historically had solid takedown defense. TJ Laramie is a very well-rounded fighter with dangerous kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. He has legitimate power in his hands, and he could put your lights out with one punch. He has dangerous knees when he's inside the pocket and head kicks when he's outside of it. Oh, what the hell did I just do?
Oh my God, he lost his nose. The teleprompter went out.
The teleprompter went out.
Holy
shit. We'll do it live.
Did you see the frozen look on his face? He had no idea what the hell to do.
Yeah. I'm Ron Burgundy. He prefers to strike, but he works in double leg takedowns really well, and he can scramble into submissions from there. And it's a really fun fight. It's a fantastic main card opener. Both guys are very well rounded, but have different approaches. Pat is looking to use his striking to set up takedowns, and TJ is using his striking to shut your lights off. Pat is looking to use his grappling to submit you, and TJ is using his grappling to win the round. Both guys are finishers, but go about it very differently. The odds have Pat Sabatini as a massive, more than 4-1 favorite. I do think those odds are a little bit wide, though, because I think it's because TJ Laramie is coming off that year layoff, and he was submitted in the first round of that fight, and obviously Pat Sabatini is such a dangerous jiu-jitsu guy. I do think the odds are a little wide because TJ is a live dog. He's got really good striking, solid takedown defense, but Pat Sabatini is absolutely the pick. 4-1 against somebody as dangerous as TJ, I feel like that's a little wide, but Pat Sabatini is 100% the pick. And what do you think? I know he's been your lock of the week in the past, and you can't do a favorite as a lock of the week.
He actually started off this entire run. We started off with Pat Sabatini back in, what was his last fight? In November. So we started with Pat Sabatini. We refocused, and he actually started off this whole trend that we're now 11-4-1, picking all underdogs. So I got to credit Pat Sabatini. That's my dude. I love Pat Sabatini. There's Ryan Hall, and there is Pat Sabatini. And it is not even 1-2. It is 1A and 1B. I love Pat Sabatini. This dude is going to, if he doesn't become a champion, he is going to definitely compete for a championship in the featherweight division. I think he absolutely dominates this fight, man. This thing is tailor-made for him. TJ, I don't know why. Do we understand why he's a featherweight? That guy should be a 125er, shouldn't he? He is crazy small even for the featherweight division. I think he's like a 135er at least coming up. Pat Sabatini, I mean, this was tailor-made for him to win. I put 4 units on inside the distance. He should have no issues in this fight. And with that said, he came at the most perfect time in my life.
You can't make him your lock of the week.
Stop. He came at the most perfect time in my life because lock of the week last week was a little rough. We're not going to talk about Mickey K. I mean, Kay Hansen was dominating that first round, was looking great. Mickey kind of did what he does sometimes. And then we had Mark Madsen with the win. So we went 1-2 last week, but we're still 11-4-1, picking all underdogs except for Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall will always be the lock of the week when he's fighting, just like Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini will always be the lock of the week. I love Pat Sabatini. I don't care he's a 400 favorite. He is the lock of the week to get us on a 2-fight winning streak. Back in it. Pat Sabatini is going to take all my money, and it's easy money. Lock of the week. If he loses, I don't know. There's no way he should lose this fight. No way.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going the safe route. That's for sure. Kind of defeating the whole
odds there. What,
kind of defeating the whole purpose of the lock of the week, but whatever you do.
No, this is the most typical. Every single other show, they'll be like, "Yeah, the lock last week is," and it's like a 700. Like last week, like, "Oh, the lock of the week is Volkanovski." So make sure you put your money on an 800 favorite.
Anyway, you like froze right when you were doing that stupid face. So anyway, I agree. Pat Sabatini should win. He's probably worth $9,200. I can't find myself bet, and maybe I'm too conservative. That's a lot. Those are wide odds.
Well, that's why I did inside the distance. I think it's plus 135, and I think he has no issues finishing TJ.
Well, we've seen with his grappling, he has no issues finishing a lot of people. What do you think of the monkey knife fight? It probably is less because listen, Pat's last fight very grappling heavy. And I think that's what he's going to do here. And I think he should do that here. He's had a lot of success with that. And I think that Jamal Emmer's knockdown sort of, realigned a few of his priorities. Because he does have good technical striking. But I think he's sort of like, okay, why mess with that if I don't need to?
Exactly. If you're a lot of these grapplers and a lot of these wrestlers like to try and practice their striking in live fights. Don't do that. And actually, Pat Sabatini against Jamal Emmer's almost got in trouble doing that. He got knocked down and ended up getting a submission out of it. Patty, I work on your striking in training camp, at home, in your gym. Take this dude down, submit him. Let's move on. I actually think after this fight, I think Pat Sabatini should fight either Ryan Hall or Bryce Mitchell. I think those would be two fantastic fights to really test the wrestling and submission abilities of Pat Sabatini. I'd like to see him fight either one of those guys.
It'd be a nice little run, honestly, after this fight. That's a lot of wins. A couple finishes in there. I mean, he's looked really good. So we'll see what happens. Pat Sabatini, both of our picks. And if you want 50 free bucks, go to wewantpicks.com/bet. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let me know after you do. And we send you $50 free.